Okay, so I was gonna do this to just show like a more in-depth thing for people who are interested in what I mean when I say like use astrology for your past life. So the first thing that people can do is a free natal birth chart, and alibi.com, like a lot of these places are free. So you go and you'll see where you put your stuff. Okay, like you put your name, the gender, the day, all of that, and then it's gonna bring up the information for you. I am a female for May 18th, 1984, and it was 11:59 p.m. and it was in Brockton, Massachusetts. So we submit, and this is what pops up, my whole chart, and it shows all of this information for free. So my north node is in 6 degrees of Gemini, so that means my south node is in the Sagittarius. But even right here it gives you a little bit of a thing. It's like you will consciously seek out many different contacts with others throughout your life. Many of these will be very short duration, not necessarily because you're fickle, but just because you always seem to be more excited by the prospect of meeting someone new rather than prolonging present relationships. But at any rate, you will learn something new from almost everyone you come across. So it's like it gives us that little, information about there. But Pluto is the planet right now that has been changing around, and it's been doing a lot of stuff. It's going to be coming out of wherever it's been, and I know it's specifically impacted the certain signs in different ways. So like Taurus and the other fixed signs were like the heaviest hit, but we're going to have a 5-year break. Like the air signs, the water signs, the fire signs, all of that stuff, whatever your thing is, learn it, know about it, and it's free to know. So it's like the more you know, the more enlightened you're going to become about all of these things. So this is just like a basic chart, okay? You don't need to really know like a lot to even get the answers, but basically when people say houses, they're talking about like these things around here. There's 12 houses, there's 12 signs, and there's different ways that it manifests for everybody. So just depends on you, the time and everything that you were born. So my rising sign is in Capricorn, my sun is in Taurus, but my moon is in Capricorn. Mercury Taurus, Venus Taurus, Mars is Scorpio, Jupiter Capricorn, Saturn Scorpio, Uranus Sagittarius, Neptune Capricorn, Pluto. This is the first time I think I've seen the Pluto in Libra. I feel like that's wrong. Did this happen right? Because I've never seen Libra in any of my things before. But again, everybody has different stuff too. So it's like you got to find the one that makes sense for you. Look at different places. Don't ever hold on to anything too tightly. Just what resonates for you. I remember I also did the star seed thing for star origin, like star markings. And the person had said like the one that I have that's like 0 degrees, the Neptune one, that was like a mark of Atlantis. Okay, and that does make sense when you find out that Neptune is that like watery Piscean, energy that looks like a trident, and then that ties into other things for me, like the recurring dreams that I had with being underwater and seeing, the people holding on to a trident. In my kid mind, it was like all I could compare it to was a pitchfork thing. But then later on, I was like, oh my God, that makes much more sense. But then, you could go deeper, and like I said, there's all of these asteroids, right? So we can go look up like free natal chart with the Chiron, with the houses, with Lilith, because Lilith is going to tell us about like the parts of ourselves that we have hidden. Like, because like Lilith is like nobody knows about the first lady. She was the first one. Like, then they decided to make Eve, who was not equal to Adam, which is all a bunch of bullshit. But it is still subconsciously in the psyche of our world. So we go here. What's my black moon Lilith sign? So you just again you do the ba-doop 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 boop ba-doop boop, and then find out. So if you don't know the time, you should probably find it, because that's going to give you the exact on things. But if you don't know, they can still look. It's just that you should probably, get that. Because it depends on what it is that you're searching, but a lot of times you won't need it for the things that like the North Node is like every 18 months it changes or something like that, so you have time, but other ones aren't like that. So yeah, so this is Pisces. I have it in Pisces, so that's gonna be how things manifest for me. Then you have all these things right here too that will give you stuff like your part of fortune, your moon sign, all of those things. If you'd like a more comprehensive list of your ascendant, planet signs, and houses, including the Black Moon, with interpretation, the submit button sometimes doesn't work when the atlas is too busy, so then click here. But alright, so now I've looked at this, right? We're going to read about it. Alright, it's going to be where you have been ashamed, shamed, ridiculed, stifled, deeply misunderstood, or repressed, okay? For whatever reason, you are wary of expressing those traits or parts of your personality freely and unapologetically, but you can feel quite uncomfortable with people who are doing so. So there can be binging and purging cycle involved with the traits of Lilith. It's traits of an extreme, and then feeling bad. This leads to purging stage in which we reject or deprive ourselves of the traits. For example, with the Lilith in Aries, the discomfort may be about asserting oneself. When a person with Lilith in Aries feels the need to assert themselves, it feels so wrong and unnatural that they do it in a choppy and extremely messy way. And afterwards, they feel ashamed for this and display and vow not to do it again. But it will repeat because it's a thing that they need to heal. So that's the Lilith in Aries, that's the Lilith in Taurus, Lilith in Gemini, Lilith in Cancer, Lilith, like literally all right here on one page. So makes it easy. Has felt ashamed or off for being needy, compassionate, or wishy-washy for their spiritual side. And this person can feel uncomfortable, annoyed with people who resist labels or who are not very assertive or ready to take the lead. Rejecting or feeling ashamed of their basic needs in these areas can lead to extremes of behavior or repeated cycles of binging and purging with these traits. The key to moderation and empowerment is self-acceptance, and this can also apply to Lilith in the 12th house, okay? So again, I don't believe my Lilith is in the 12th house. I just believe it was my Lilith is in Pisces. But our houses and our signs and our planets, move. Wherever your planet is, it's going to be different for other people because the planets are always moving. The house is stationary and the signs are stationary, but where the planet falls is the one thing that changes. So you can, figure it out. And then everybody out there in the world has their own interpretations of things. So you can use what you know about yourself and find what other people have done. So like knowing like my North Node in Gemini, past life, alright? So this one is showing your North Node in Gemini is your life purpose, your soul mission, and according to the acrolic bababada. So there's all this information right here about it. So step 1, appreciate your Sagittarius talents. the first step in claiming your North Node in Gemini is to embody the highest expression of the Sagittarius, which is opposite to Gemini. Sagittarius represents your karmic past, so definitely appreciate, but don't make your Sagittarius qualities the center of your life. Celebrate your philosophical understanding of life and optimistically look to the future. Enjoy traveling in the easy, relaxed way that you attract others from over the world. But be a professional friend, share what you know to help others, and remain dedicated to telling the truth. Study Sagittarius and understand the highest potential, and choose to live that, holding Sagittarius ever so lightly. To live a life with purpose is the first step. Then, step 2, owning your Sagittarius karma. Careful with closed-mindedness or thinking that your truth is the only truth, because it's not. And with the North Node in Gemini, your karma is around judgment and how you've exercised personal freedom. Are you blunt? Do you see it as being honest? But do you consider others' feelings? When someone gives you instructions, do you rewrite them, even if you know nothing about the subject? Bingo. Do you feel panicky when you think of commitment? Is one of your personal values freedom at all costs? In past lifetimes, you might have been a teacher, a lawyer, a religious leader, a traveler, a philosopher, a Native American, or a cowboy that left a trail of broken hearts. You may have been involved in the Inquisition, settling a country, or you may have led a tribe. The shadow side of the Sagittarius energy has to do with an exaggerated sense of needing freedom to an extreme and stubbornly clinging to what you believe to be truth at the expense of new ideas, growth, curiosity, and others' feelings. So I do know that, like, I'm pretty much open to, like, adopting new ideas all the time, or trying to be aware of the fact that, like, there's not one set truth, and everybody's truth is involved within, like, the main thing that we're seeing within creation. And, you know, going through the spiritual awakening that I went through back when it was like, boom, here you go, that kind of, I feel like before then, I wasn't as open to, you know, the vastness that is. I feel like everybody's truth is their truth, and that it exists in some level, and it's being created, and that there's infinite possibilities as to how it will be. Then this here, step 3, step into your soul mission. Is attuned to social graces, often drawn to the city life, highly creative. North Node Gemini expresses itself through writing. It is also the salesman, the blogger, the social networker. Gemini's sophistication and need for stimulation in people draw it to urban environments, strives for clarity of thought and pinpoint communication between people. So this is just like a breakdown here, but like even this website can take you into a whole bunch of stuff. Look, like karmic astrology, North Node, free karmic astrology. Like I said, there's infinite people out in the world that have been doing a lot of this stuff for a long time. Everybody can Google, you know, that's what it's basically where your jumping point is going to be, and then try to figure out what manifests the best for you. You know, when you click in and you start reading it, some stuff may resonate, some won't, but you're going to feel what resonates and what doesn't, and what makes sense and what doesn't. So what astrology says about your past life, karma, and soul purpose, you know, just find the articles that make sense for you, and then kind of just go with it and see. The South Node is your past life, the North Node is your life purpose. How is the South and North Node in astrology? And then they have all these ones. Virgo South Node. So that's the Gemini South. Alright, so I had the Sagittarius South Node with Gemini North Node. It's a person who in this lifetime has mastered the life path of being the eternal nomad traveler, moving from quest to quest and guru to guru. In this lifetime, this person is meant to incorporate the Sagittarian qualities of seeking and knowing and realizing the truth where they hear and see it, using that to propel their studies into different topics that they are curious about but do not currently understand. And it might feel comfortable for the person with a South Node to be constantly on the go from one place to another, or relationship to relationship. Yet a North Node in Gemini signifies the soul's need to put down roots in one place for a while, nourish and take an active part in a community, and nurture long-term friendships and relationships where there is a baseline of mutual respect, understanding, and learning from one another. So, you know, that was like a brief rundown of the vast thing that I read the day that I looked this stuff up like over a year ago. And I don't remember the website it was on or whatever, but it was like a whole thing. There was like a freaking poem in there that was like a song. It was like, there was a lot of stuff. but you will be guided to what you need to know for you. But those are the specific ones that come about for past life. And then there are all of the different asteroids, right? There's asteroids for like Dick, right? I remember seeing this. All right, Dick, the Dick of Taurus is parallel. There's no penis asteroid, but for common penis euphemisms do exist. Asteroid Dick, Wiener, Dong. These are weird ones, okay? So, just found out that asteroid Dick is on my north node, and I will never ever stop. Oh God, I don't know. Oh, never ever stop laughing. But you see, like, there's funny ones, but they still usually have asteroid Dick. Pluto is the love of my life. You tend to attract others to you quite readily and rarely come on too strong or aggressive, negative. So everything has meaning, and there's massive amounts. What the hell? Is that it? But everything as above, so below. Okay, so. Jazz astrology, I believe jazz was one that was also like tied into love and horniness and things. I'll see if I can find my notes, because I had written down the ones. I know there was a lot. Alright, yeah, this is a sex asteroid for lust. I think there was one named Lust. There's the Greek and Roman goddesses, like Aphrodite and Eros. So Vesta, all of these. Yeah, Clet right there. Clet is for the cleat, for the ladies. Lust was one. You may have commitment issues. See what I mean, though? Like, you just need to find out where yours is, and then ask about what that meaning is for wherever it is. So it's really just a matter of using the resources that we have available for searching. So, like, natal chart for Cleek. Was that the name of it? I can't remember how they spelled it. Birth chart. What the hell was it? We'll say Lust asteroid. Okay. See, right here, Lust in Aries or Lust in Taurus. So those are based off of the houses. Like, Aries is the first house, Taurus is the second house, so on and so forth. Gemini is the third house. But there's a free natal chart with all asteroids, okay? So that's gonna pull up the one. I can't remember. I think Cafe Astrology. Where's the one that I feel like the one that I always use is not popping up for some reason. There's some that I have, like, printed out. Juno sign shows you the sign of your soulmate. The planets and asteroids create free chart. Asteroids in astrology: Chiron, Ceres, Pallas, Juno, Vesta. Your free birth chart. Cafe Astrology. Oh, that one's $5.95. But there's one that you don't need that. It's not this one. I know what it looks like. Not that either. It's not that either. But those show you right there all these different ones that they have. Psyche, Eros, asteroids in your natal chart. So right here, asteroids in the natal chart has them all clicked. You can display the aspects. You can change the houses and stuff, but most of the time I just leave things as they are, and I do see what comes up, because I think it's usually the most common that things are listed. So 11 p.m., 59, Brockton, Massachusetts. Alright, calculate. So, what do we get? Ceres was squared my moon. Opposite Pluto. So it's showing me all of the ways that they show up. Look at all this. Look at all that stuff. That's a lot of stuff. So I could go look all of that stuff up. So a lot of times I don't go look up every single thing. I just look up what kind of like calls to me, you know. So like here, the planets and the objects. So Lilith sextile the moon, Lilith sextile Venus. So I'm going to assume like that, you know, makes those things a little bit less bad. But if it's opposite or has a big square, it may make it a little bit harder or more difficult within your life. Alright, so this is my sun, moon, right down here is the North Node in Gemini, the Lilith in Pisces, Chiron in Gemini, the Fortune is in Gemini, the Vertex is in Leo, my Ceres is in Aries, Pallas is in Pisces, Juno is Cancer, Vesta is Cancer, Eros was Sagittarius, Sappho is Gemini, Psyche is Aquarius, Eris is Aries, Pholus is Aries, Sedna is Taurus, Shariko, Taurus, Hameh, Scorpio, Make, Leo, Hygia. So then the houses, my ascendant, my second. Alright, so my second house is in Pisces, third house Aries, fourth house, which is IC. I don't know what IC is. I feel like that's something. Oh, well, that's where like my main sun sign is. Fifth house, Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio, Libra. I don't know if that's Virgo. Is that Virgo? What is this? Why is this like clickable? Anyways, you look up all that stuff based off how it is. Date of birth and signs, advanced searches. But like I said, everybody's gonna have things that come up different. This isn't like the best one that I've seen for charts. But this does have like the numerology, the current planets, retrogrades. It has a lot of things that it can, you know, give to you for information. I can't remember what the name of that other place is. It's Astro. Maybe it's gone. They used to have one. Aphrodite is all by herself here. Where are my asteroids? Venus and the Moon are the only ones representing the feminine force in the chart. The feminine force, we've turned to the asteroid belt to fill in the blanks. Many of the asteroids are named after the female family of Jupiter, his daughters Pallas, Athena, his sister Ceres, his wife Juno. Some of the asteroids are even considered minor planets and dwarf planets, meaning that they orbit around our sun, even though they don't have enough mass to earn a full-on planet status. But the placement on our charts certainly pack a punch. So how do I find? You can learn about all the asteroids here. 7 major, so boom. Ceres, Juno. This reveals your mothering tendencies, okay? Then, Juno. Are you the marrying kind? What kind of life partner do you want to be? The minor planet Juno is the 11th largest. Philandering cheats. What? Zeus' wife. Although both Jupiter and Zeus were philandering cheats, Juno and Hera stuck by their sides. They were often tormented by betrayal and exacting revenge behind the scenes. Loyalty, quality, and commitment in romantic partnerships and values Juno and Hera tried to uphold, albeit unsuccessfully at times. So, Juno's zodiac sign and house placement illuminate your approach to marriage, commitment, and life partnership. So wherever those things would be, going to help you to understand yourself. Vesta is your feminine purpose. So Vesta is another minor planet. She could use her energy for other purposes. She opted for celibacy. She corresponds to the Greek goddess Hestia. She reveals your noble feminine purpose. What is your level of self-respect? Your nesting instincts or lack thereof. Pallas is your voice of reason. Bridges instead of going to war. When the emotion ocean gets choppy, this is where you can find that calm in the storm. Are you healthy, productive relationship with males? It can help you navigate healthy, productive relationship with male. How strategic are you? And then Chiron is our wounds, our deep wounds, triumph over tragedy. Chiron was a wise centaur whose early life was a series of hurdles and rebounds. A child of rape, he was abandoned by both parents but adopted by the brotherly son of Apollo. Yeah. Eros is how you like to be romanced. So Eros illuminates your love Jones. Do you prefer a hot quickie between appointments or a slow jam and sensual session with rose petals and champagne? And Lilith, we've already looked up. She's the point along the moon's orbital path where it's farthest away from the Earth, kind of like the opposite of super moon. But this occurs because the moon's orbit is an ellipse rather than a perfect circle. Sexually liberated, empowered woman. She was chosen to be Adam's first wife, but she refused to cower to a submissive role. And well, that marriage didn't happen. Lilith was nobody's fool. She definitely had a bite and edge. This placement can show how sexually self-authorized you are, but also where you may get caught in obsessive affairs. She will also reveal how you defy conventions or push back against the patriarch. Yeah, so I will look for the other thing about those other specific ones that I had written down somewhere and see if I can add it to this.